Okay, so we're playing some Bomat Red or Sly in Modern. It's just on one red aggro deck with some standard banned cards and much more creature heavy than the burn lists we see in Modern all the time. I put up a list very similar to this, put up a 6-1 finish in a Modern challenge like a few weeks ago, and then someone like top 32'd SCG with it, with a very similar list, and I've changed a lot of the numbers a bit, just to like make it more like how I want it to look, but I thought it was worth trying. This is interesting. I think we keep this hand. We can cast everything off the one land, right? We really want a second land, like fairly soon. But the hand is just mono ones, and the moment we draw a second land, the hand's gonna be pretty explosive. Get to start the league off properly. Ramanap Ruins into Bomat Courier. Basically what we signed up for here. Opponent is mulling to 5. Opponent is mulling to 4. Okay. Nice, nice. Strong strategy, opponent. Alright, so we're really hoping to rip a land here. Free drop, land, same thing. Let's just keep hitting with the courier, and then I'll cast my other critter. Lots of things a Wooded Foothills could be. Don't really have any idea what our opponent's on at the moment. Let's get this Grim Lava Monster down. A turn 1 Burning Inquiry would be dreamy. Oh my god. Stomping Ground. I doubt they're Titan Shift. I don't think Titan Shift can multi-4. Oh, they're on Dredge. That makes lots of sense. Okay. Because they had to mulligan really aggressively to find a Dredger, right? Makes a huge amount of sense. Oh, let's keep attacking with the team. And I guess we just get our Eidolon in play. Make it a bit more painful for our opponent to do stuff. It makes these burn spells more painful too, but that's probably fine. We just want to get them dead before they assemble too much of a Dredge force. They have the Cathartic Reunion, which is going to really, really help this draw for them. And they hit a Narcomoeba too, so they can trade with our Courier potentially. Might end up just killing the Narcomoeba for that reason. We've got 8 points of burn in hand at the moment. Another land is excellent. So... This is interesting. I'm not really sure what to do here, honestly. I could see, like, Burst Lightning the Narcomoeba, Bolt their face, suspend Rift Bolt, attack with... Could just, like, hold the Lightning Bolt and activate Lava Monster. Like, I guess we're losing our whole board to Conflagrate next turn anyway, right? We're losing our whole board to Conflagrate next turn anyway. You like getting the Ferocidon down? It's not, like, the worst. It means our Courier probably ends up trading off with the Narcomoeba, which I'm not in love with. Then we still have 8 points of burn in hand, and we'll hit them for free down to 10. And they won't be able to wipe our whole board with the Conflagrate. I guess they can go Loam, Conflagrate, and actually wipe our whole board. Yeah, I'm not casting the Ferocity, I don't think. I think the Ferocity just means we lose our whole board to the Conflagrate. I am going to Burst Lightning the Narcomoeba. And then so I'm going to Bolt them, Suspend Rift Bolt, activate Lava Monster, attack with these two, I think. If they trade off the Narcomoeba, I think that's fine for me. I'm going to push 6 damage, put them to 7, plus this, they go to 3. And then they're in a really rough spot. Oh wait, I attack with the Lava Monster, I'm stupid. This is fine, this is fine. I was talking whilst I was doing stuff. This is fine though. Just means we get to use all our spells instead. Yes, I don't need to cast this garbage yet. So they're going to take 8 here. 3, 6, 7, 8 and go to 2. So a single spell through the Eidolon will kill them. A single spell into the Eidolon and they die. Which means if they want a Loam plus Conflagrate, they die. If they just Conflagrate, then that's fine. They're like, their clock is really slow then. As it stands. I'm really happy I added those relics at the last minute. I almost played a league with 4 Molten Rains and 0 relics. I decided to swap 2 of the Molten Rains for relics at like literal last second. Alright, so we go to 12, which is perfectly okay. They're going to Conflagrate these 2. Which is also fine. Means they can now cast Loam because the Eidolon's gone, so they don't die from casting Loam. At the end of their turn, we're just going to deal 5 to them, put them to 5, untap, and put them to 2 off the Rift Bolt. Drawing 2 Ramanap Ruins is hurting a bit here. In terms of the damage we're taking off of them. Ooh, Rabble Master would put them to 1. Like right now. Which is pretty exciting. Or we could just cast the Ferocidon, which blocks the Bloodghasts really well, and means any creatures they play are going to shoot them. Yeah, I'm going to cast the Ferocidon. I think that sounds great. And then, if they cast a single creature here, they're really likely to die to the Rabble Master token, because they need 2 creatures to block the Ferocidon, and the chance they have a 3rd blocker for this token is really unlikely. They hit another Conflagrate, that's pretty rough for us, potentially. They do have a 2nd mountain in their yard though, and their deck probably only plays 2 mountains. So the fact they milled a mountain means they likely can't go Loam into Conflagrate, except if they have a forest in their deck, which most Dredge lists don't. They normally just have the 2 mountains as their basics. So there's a really good chance our opponent cannot use this fetch land. At least for not an untapped source. I guess they loam back the mountain, right, and replay it, but that puts them down a card of their loam, which means they'd only have 3 cards in hand. We have to block the Bloodghast here, because otherwise we die to loam back mountain, play mountain, conflagrate for free. It means they can conflagrate for 1 on our Ferocidon, which is really awkward for us, but we do just have to block here. Otherwise we die. It's really annoying. If these Ramanap ruins were mountains, we have our opponent dead, right? Ooh, they got back the Bloodghast. That's so good for us. Oh my god. Because they got back the Bloodghast, it means even if they kill the Ferocidon, they died the Rabblemaster token. Like, obviously they don't know about this Rabblemaster. Like, getting back the Bloodghast there is reasonable, right? But yeah, just like brutally punished by this Goblin token. Wow, opponent displeased in chat. Alright, that worked out. So, these Relic of Progenitus seem somewhat dreamy. Is there anything else we want? Not really. I could see some Searing Bloods being okay. Like, getting Narcomoebas out of the way is reasonable. And they're always going to have targets for the Searing Bloods. So I could see these being okay. And we definitely want the relics. So, what cards look bad? I feel like the Daredevils exile target instant. I guess you can use them just to exile like a Dredger, right? If they put a loam in their yard, you just get to exile it for free. And you don't even have to use it yourself. You just use this as like weirdo grave hate. I could see this being relevant, hitting a conflagrate. Yeah, I'm going to leave the Daredevils in. I'm tempted to cut these Couriers though. These Couriers are really awkward against Narcomoeba. Especially with us on the draw. Yeah, exactly, Phil. The fact that the Daredevils snipe conflagrate seems like actually fairly relevant. I think I want to trim on Bomats though. I think on the draw these are going to be too awkward against Narcomoeba. I think I might even swap a couple of them for Searing Bloods. Because of that. These are also just like really bad against Conflagrate, right? Just having like a bunch of random 1/1s that run into Conflagrate. I think I like this more. It could be we want the extra 2 Searing Bloods as well, over more creatures. But we'll see how this game goes and get more of a feel for the matchup before doing that. I know, right, Cambo? It's kind of hype, right? I am a fan of Bomat Courier. This is not my first time playing Bomat Courier in Modern. Back when I tried out some of the early versions of Vengevine, I had Bomat Courier in that. It was reasonable. This hand's nice. Good to go Lava Mouncer on 1 and to Searing Blaze one of their critters that they get back. Obviously they can keep recurring the creatures, but just getting it off the board for a turn can be quite relevant, just slow them down whilst we do our thing. Alright, let's just get down the Grim Lava Monster. Wait, Lightning Axe? Huh, sweet. That's kind of disgusting. Lightning Axe our 1-drop. get back in Narcomoeba. Kind of worried they might have Cathartic here. Yep, Cathartic Reunion pitching another Stinkweed Imp. So this is like a reasonably strong draw from our opponent. We draw an Eidolon. Huh. I kind of wanted to Searing Blaze this turn, but I guess I should just cast my Eidolon, right? Burst Lightning with an Eidolon out is just like the smallest Flame Rift ever. We both take 2. 1 mana deal 4. This is another Cathartic Reunion. Opponent is going off. Oh, it's the Conflagrate. Okay, okay. That's fine. Means it eats up their turn, right? Slows down their clock a bit, and then we get to land the Ferocidon. Yeah, I could see that being the case, Phil. Like, I might swap the 1-drops in and take out the Eidolons when we're on the play again. That could make sense. There's nothing in here we want to Dire Fleet, right? Not right now. So I should just land my Ferocidon. That makes sense. Ferocidon blocks this Bloodghast and then, like, threatens to start attacking them. This deck is sweet, Inferno. Oh no, they hit 2 Conflagrates. I guess they don't have a Loam yet, though. They only have 1 card in hand, so it's actually fine. They hit Prized Amalgam too. Luckily they've gone through half their deck and they've only found 1 Amalgam and 1 Bloodghast. Oh, if we block, they get to Conflagrate my Ferocidon. That seems poor for me. I guess I just don't block. I take 4 here. I think that's fine. I think I'm just going to take 4. I think I need to be attacking with this Ferocidon to actually race them. Oh, that's cool, Inferno. Oh, they hit more Prized Amalgams. Okay. I think we're probably losing this one now. Them finding 2 more Amalgams is really rough. We could attempt to Dire Fleet Faithless Looting into a Relic of Progenitus, but we can't crack it on the turn we find it. So that doesn't really sound good enough. We can attack for 3 here and put them to 12. And then... So we attack for 3, put them to 12. They take 2 off the Prized Amalgams coming in and go to 10. We can Searing Blaze a Prized Amalgam. They go to 7. But we're still just taking like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Which is kind of rough. And they have the Conflagrate in the yard. Yeah, I don't think we're actually winning this. Sadly. Alright, we get to be on the play though. So on the play, I think Bomats are going to be a lot better. Yeah, that makes sense, Inferno. Regular Old Burn is just like a decent deck, right? Seems reasonable. I'm going to bring in these take out these Eidolons, bring in these Bomats with me on the play, I think. I was worried about these running into Narcomoebas when I'm on the draw, but I think when I'm on the play they're going to be a lot better. And the Eidolons are just not terribly impressive in the matchup, I don't think. I guess we could cut like some 3-drops too. I'm almost wondering if I want like the extra 2 Searing Bloods. Because now I'm on the play, I can get down like my 1-drops on the play and then Searing Blood their Narcomoebas out the way. And maybe a couple Rabble Masters to make room for these, like lower our curve a bit. The matchup's fairly fast. That seems good to me. Alright, we're on the play. This doesn't have a 1-drop, but it's obviously pretty unreasonable to ship the hand. Like, have a couple decent creatures, have lots of burn spells. Just gonna suspend this Riftbolt on one. Hopefully they are looting, just discarding a Life from the Loam. That'd be hilarious. Then we snipe it with our Daredevil. Oh, opponent being so rude. Not even doing the thing I wanted them to. Right, bolt you. I think I'm just going to play my 2-1 out. I need to, like, get in damage, right? Obviously, Daredevil has a bit of utility in the matchup, but if we hold on to it. But I think I just want to run it out instead. Get pressure in. Cathartic, ditching a Thug. They hit a couple Loams. Wow, they hit 3 Prized Amalgams. Yeah. That is rough for us. Oh my word. So we can attack for 2, put them to 15. Play a Ferocidon. Okay, I guess that's what we're doing. Finding 3 Prized Amalgams in their, like, what, their top 12 cards of their library? It's, like, kind of disgusting. If they didn't even hit 1 less, we might still have a decent chance. You save the Conflagrate anyway, right? They can just sweep our board. Maybe we're just not winning this one. Anyway. I know back when I played Dredge, I always quite liked the burn matchup in general. And this deck feels worse positioned against Dredge than burn does. Because part of the problem for burn against Dredge is, like, all the creature sources of damage go dead so quickly because the board gets gummed up really fast. And on top of that, like, the Conflagrates just clear all your creatures, so you're, like, leaning heavily on your burn spells. And obviously they have, like, a fast enough clock to erase that without the recurrent sources of damage. That was a sad start to the league. Spells over creatures. You are not wrong. At least in Modern anyway. No, see how the next one goes. I'm still a believer. This deck can still achieve things. Burn is pretty reasonable. Alright. I mean, this is a hand. We have, like, turn 1 guide, turn 2 guide. And a burn spell to clear the way. I wonder how much this deck's even meant to have fetch lands. Like, I added a bunch of fetch lands to it because I wanted Searing Blazes in the deck. But, so this is either another Dredge deck or it's Daniela's deck. I guess I'm just going to suspend a Rift Bolt since they only block the Goblin Guide anyway with the Neonate. I guess if I force them to block the Goblin Guide though, it means they can't save this for their turn. If they're on a Hollow One deck, saving this is actually good for them. So I guess I'm just going to run out the guide for that reason. Kinda sucks to potentially give them a land, but they might be wanting to hold on to this for an explosive Hollow One turn, so yeah, we give them a land. They don't block though, so our read that they might want to hold on to this was correct. Which I think means they're much more likely to be on Daniela's deck or something similar to it than, yeah, there's the Vengevine, so they're on some sort of Vengevine nonsense. Some angry salads are coming our way. Cool. Street Wraith. Okay. They're going to shock that in. They're down to 12 already. But I have a feeling their turn's going to be quite explosive here. Yep. So they get back a Vengevine, which is quite scary. Races us really well. Another Rift Bolt. Huh. So, I was tempted to actually kill the Vengevine because it decreases their clock by so much, but the fact that I've drawn another Rift Bolt means I think I'm just going to suspend both. And, just hope to draw another burn spell here. Yeah, for sure, Inferno. We're getting, like, a lot of the matchups where our creatures are just completely outclassed really quickly. Apparently so, Charlotte. It's not going terribly well so far. No, I don't know how much of a meme it is. It went like 6-1, and a list incredibly similar to this went 6-1 in a Modern Challenge recently, which is like solid performance. But so if they take even 1 point of damage, a land kills them, which is decent. We're currently taking 12 though, so we might have to chump with the guide, potentially. Nah, this is not quite Diva's deck. It's got black in it. And probably no bridges, that means. If they're playing anglers. So could chump here. Angry Salad is, like, quite sweet. How do we win this game? So I guess chumping doesn't achieve anything. We can just block these next to it. I just don't think we actually have outs here. We're putting them to, so we have 2 Rift Bolts on suspend, right? So we're putting them to 6. But then, like, any way we slice this, we can only put them to 1. They activated the Neonate. Holy shit, are they gonna die? They activated the Neonate to get an extra point of damage. which means they're now dead to a mountain. So, like, we could kill some of their stuff. So I should actually check the maths on this on our outs. So we have, like, 4 mountains in our deck. So if we send this all at their face, and we draw exactly a mountain, which is, like, about 8% to happen, they die. The alternative is we can kill a Vengevine, kill the Adept. Then we have to, like, chump the hollow one. We're just never winning that game, right? We just have to send these at their face. Like, I think the only way we're surviving on board to the next turn is if we draw a mountain anyway. So we might as well go for the kill. And just hope to draw our 8%er. Our 8%er that we should not really have if our opponent just, like, kept the Neonate in play. But here we are. Right, mountain. Nope, that's an Eidolon. So that means we're dead. This is another game where if this Ruins was a mountain, we'd have won, right? If this Ruins was a mountain, we'd be on 2. So we'd get to go Goblin Guide plus Burst Lightning and kill them. But instead, because this Ruins is a Ruins, we're dying. So against Angry Salads, so we want these relics, I guess. I don't know what else we really want. Searing Bloods only meaningfully hits the 1-2. I guess we could smash some hollow ones to smithereens. I guess hollow ones enough of a problem that, like, conditional answers honestly don't sound terrible. Unlike our free drops are pretty slow in the matchup, I could see just cutting a bunch of free drops. Yeah, I think they're too fast for claws as well, Charlotte. I agree. I think we're just meant to cut some 4-drops and bring in some of this stuff. Do we prefer Rabble Master or Ferocidon? I guess I prefer Rabble Master. I don't know what life gain they're likely to have in their deck. I think all the 3-drops honestly seem kind of bad in this matchup. I'm gonna cut these Ferocidons, I think. Cut 3 in 1. Maybe. I'm just gonna try this. Alright, we would like to go first. This has 4 lands. Though the curve is, like, kind of ideal, it's probably just a mulligan. Right, this is a bit better, I guess. Searing Blaze, we cannot actually cast that with this hand, so I'm just going to put that on the bottom. And do I want to hold up Lightning Bolt turn 1 or threaten to activate Mutavault turn 2? I think I just want to hold up Bolt on 1. Because if they play a Flameblade Adept, I really want to kill it. Right? Kinda sucks maybe missing out on our 2 damage. But I think killing Flameblade Adept is really important. Just because it slows them down a bunch. And we're not able to, like, burn our opponent out like a traditional burn deck is. We actually have to get in some damage with creatures. So dealing with some of their early creatures is actually fairly relevant. Just to buy us a lot of time. Yeah, for sure, Charlotte. I've been playing a bunch of, Ooh, we also get to keep our red source this way, apparently. Alright. Okay. They discarded the hollow one, which is nice. Yeah, I've been playing a bunch of Eternal recently, which is actually surprisingly good. But, it definitely has the same thing where it feels like very loud and, you know, there's just like a lot going on all the time in it. It's kind of nice just playing Modo and not having all the distractions. Cool, let's play this Lava Monster out. Luckily our graveyard's now well stocked from our opponent's Inquiry. Mutavault somewhat punishing us at the moment. Insolent Neonate, sure. They discard their Vengevine, so if they have another cheap critter, they get their Vengevine back. Yep. That's pretty scary. Oh my god, not having the mountain instead of this is really rough. Otherwise we could Lava Monster this. I think I'm just gonna Lava Monster this anyway. And then we take 4 off this, which is like unfortunate but fine. Sure. It does feel that way, Emma. You're not really feeling this Mutavault? So there was a list that went 6-1 in a modern challenge, like a couple weeks ago, that was like this but with 2 Mutavaults. So I kind of wanted to try out one. And I know Patrick Sullivan said when he was talking about the Bomat Red deck on camera that he thought 19 lands was too few. And one of the things he'd do was probably add a couple lands and maybe make them Mutavaults, so you're getting more out of your mana base. Since you're like a bit more mid-rangey than Burn. Or not mid-rangey, but you know, you're much more based on the board than Burn is. Ooh, that can get smashed right off the battlefield. Go away. So that was like the theory behind them, which I was kind of on board with, so I wanted to try out one copy and just see how it feels. But I certainly agree that this game has been very, very awkward. I can see that happening, Charlotte. We're just facing a lot of like the fast linear decks at the moment, though. Like, I could see against a deck like Jund or against... I almost want to bolt this and just take their clock off the field. Like, our hand's really powerful, right? We just need to buy ourselves some time. So I think I'm just going to bolt their Vengevine. It's going to take them a while to find 2 creatures to get it back, I think. Yeah, I like that idea. I'm going to pass the turn. And then when they go to attack with the Vengevine, I think I'm just going to bolt it. Like, I certainly agree with you, Dernabel. That's, the Mutavault in the one game we've drawn it has felt incredibly, incredibly awkward. And would have been much better as a mountain. But it is also kind of a small sample size. Them having a go Mag Angler is brutal. Oh, I was hoping to, like, buy a bit of time to dig ourselves out of this, but Mag Angler is a very fast clock. Oh, it's a Tasiga, same deal. And just another land. Kind of surprised they're playing this out. They have lootings in the yard. Okay, drawing a land is beautiful. Well, now what are we doing with the land? What are we doing with the land? Could just get our Rabble Master in play. Then if they attack us with the Tasica, they'll take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have like a decent shot of trying to kill them. I guess that makes sense. Just cast our 3 mana card. Don't know if I'm attacking with the Bomat here, because they're going to get to eat the Goblin anyway. And I think the Goblin's almost worth a bit more than the Bomat at the moment, because it makes Rabble Master scarier. And I don't think we're blocking this Tasica with the Bomat, right? I think we're just going to free life. So I think I'm going to swing with the Bomat too. They're going to get to block the Goblin anyway, so they're going to get to kill a 1/1. And I think the Goblin's worth a bit more than the Bomat Courier at the moment, since this game's not going to last very long. They probably do play bolts, but I don't think I'm beating a bolt this game anyway, since a bolt kills my Rabble Master, even if it doesn't. Even if, like, you know, I chump block the Tasica to keep myself alive, they just get to bolt the Rabble Master, right? And I don't know. I don't think I'm reasonably beating a bolt this game. Because a bolt just removes all our pressure. If they don't draw something good here, the Tasica might even have to stay back to block. Like, we have 4 damage on board. 5, 6 even. So they're dead to a lightning bolt effect if they attack. Like, just dead to any deal free. And they don't know what deal frees are in our deck, so. Bolt Tasica. Oh, that's pretty sweet, Charlotte. That might be better. I think. Huh. I think your line might be better. I think it's fairly close, but I think I prefer your one. Like, getting the Tasica off the board again just removes all their pressure. Means we have a lot of time to kill them. Okay, that's a Grim Lavamancer. Yes, I'm Searing Blazing that, right? Yes, I'm Searing Blazing that. And, like, continuing to hate this Mutavault. So I can Searing Blaze this Lavamancer. Hold back a Bomat to block. They take 4, plus 1 off the Searing Blaze is 5. And then there's a decent shot if they attack that we get to kill them with our creatures next turn. Yeah, I think I like this line. So we're dead to bolts anyway, and bolt's probably the only removal that they have in their deck. Or like the vast majority of the removal, so I'm just going to leave only 1 creature back. They can't cast Vengevine, so I think this is good. They go to 3, so now they're dead to the Rift Bolt next turn as well. I'd be surprised if they have pushes. The lists I've seen don't have push in the main deck. I guess you could reasonably have it in the sideboard, but I've not really seen it around much at all. Wild Cantor. That's a blast. Oh my god. Oh, they discarded one before. Oh, you're right, Emma. You were right. I'm being stupid. They do run push, apparently. I guess their list isn't very stock, right? They're running Wild Cantor, which is like a few months out of date. So, yeah. You're right, Emma. They do run push. Okay, now we're on the draw. What do we want to change? I think I'm pretty happy with the setup. Cantor is sweet, for sure, when you're looking to cast, like, lots of creatures for your Vengevines. I think I do only want the 2 Smash to Smithereens. It's, like, really important to kill their hollow ones, but we don't want to, like, draw too many of that sort of effect, I feel like. Because some amount of the time they're just going to be dead. The only thing I'm really looking at is these Molten Rains, which I think on the draw are just going to be, like, really slow and clunky. But I could see the matchup being, like, awkward enough for us that, like, stifling them on mana could be legitimate. I guess they have Faithless Lootings to draw into more mana, though, so maybe that's just bad. This has 4 lands, but has, like, the turn 1 Lava Monster, which I think is pretty strong. And they run Burning Inquiry in their deck, which makes me less inclined to mulligan in general. At least it has turn 1 Courier into turn 2 Lava Monster, but yeah, I think I agree, Scouty. I was leaning on keep as well, I think. I think this is just good enough, considering they're a Burning Inquiry deck, and we're not an actual burn deck, we're like mono red. I think I agree. So, I'm pretty sure I Courier on one. If they play a Flame Blade Adapt, I obviously Lava Monster though, because then I'll be quite interested in killing the Flame Blade Adept. This deck needs Goblin Grenades for flavor. Oh my god. Alright, let's just get our Courier down. The fact they didn't play an Adept on one means we just get to jam the Courier at them. Next turn we play 2 things. If they get a Vengevine down this turn, we can remove it from the board in a couple turns, which is good. Because the Vengevines are quite threatening. They are taking some damage off their lands. I'm okay with that. You can cast any hollow ones they have this turn. They didn't pitch any Vengevines, which is really good for us. That is less good for us. Put it lightly. That is somewhat less good for us. 2 hollow ones. I don't think I can afford to take a bunch of damage off this Eidolon right now. So I'm going to Rift Bolt plus cast the Grim Lava Monster. And next turn we can use these to take down a hollow one. And seriously slow down their clock. And we can cast the Eidolon next turn. Once we've killed a hollow one. Hopefully they don't have another big creature. If they have like another angler, we're obviously in big trouble. We're just going to take this. We go down to 11. Hey, Alessia. You had to ask for the Oracle text on Grim Lava Monster to make sure it's not a goblin. Oh my god. That is great. pretty sure we just have to kill a hollow one. We're never actually beating these hollow ones unless we, like, mow one of them down, I think. Yes, so if we put them, what happens if we put them to 13? We can put them to 13, Grim Lavamancer the Flameblade Adept, attack with the Courier, it probably trades with the Neonate, cast the Eidolon, then we go down to 3 next turn. We just have to, like, pick off a hollow one. We can't beat this otherwise, I think. Like, our clock's just gonna be too slow. Another Rabble Master. So this is happening. Cast an Eidolon. It's likely gonna chump block. The Torment version just says Wizard. I was not aware of that. That does make it, that does explain why it was quite so confusing. Hollow One is a fair and balanced Magic card. Wouldn't say otherwise. So how do we get out of this? We kind of need to draw a Smash to Smithereens now, right? Maybe we're meant to have the 3rd Smash to Smithereens in our deck anyway, even though it's really conditional. Because a lot of the toughest games are going to involve Hollow Ones. And because of, like, all these effects, they're so likely to find at least one Hollow One anyway. I could see that being right. I think I double block the Flameblade Adept here. If I double block the Flameblade Adept, they kill the Bomat Courier. Essentially trades for the Adept, which seems fine. And then, yeah, this seems fine to me. They could have like a Street Wraith to kill the Eidolon, but that's also fine. They take 2 in that process. And we're pretty happy to trade the Eidolon off. Right, they just have another land, which is good. So we're going to cast the Rabble Master. We're going to go to 3, and then this is going to put us to 2. What are we attacking with? Are we attacking with the Eidolon? I think I want to chump block with the Eidolon this turn, so I can keep casting spells. In fact, I could even go chump on the Hollow One, shoot the Hollow One. So I think I'm just holding back the Eidolon for that reason. Yeah, just the token. I agree. We need to try and take this Hollow One off the table in combat. And then the Insolent Neonate's going to put us to 1 because of our fetch land, but that's fine. Like, 1 is pretty dangerous life total against the deck with a bunch of Menace Rats, but once the second Rabble Master comes down, we're going to have a really quick clock, so... Two Rabbles do make each other attack. I used to play red-white mid-range and standard for a while, so I have encountered this before. Could even double block Neonate on Lavamancer and Rabble Master. Could actually do that. Just to, like, take 1 less damage and trade the Lavamancer off. Ugh. That is a big fish. This means they're probably not attacking, they just want to lock us underneath our own Eidolon. Fair. there. Do we crack this fetch land to activate the lava monster? I don't know if we actually can justify that, because then we go down to 2. Like, we get to kill the neonate, which is nice, but I think we just have to untap here. Yeah, we need to be able to cast spells. I agree, Charlotte. Alright, let's just attack with our goblins. Pass the turn. I'm not going to bother playing the land out because we have Direfleet Daredevil in our deck, which can flash back that Faithless Looting. I'll start attacking. No, I need the Eidolon back to block with, Charlotte. If I don't hold the Eidolon back, they start attacking me, and then I die. What's the current record? We lost 1-2 to Dredge, and we're currently 1-1 against Vengevine nonsense. This game's looking rough for us though. We're going to be locked under our Eidolon pretty soon, which is going to make it a lot harder. I wonder what they're thinking about. Flashing back the looting, maybe? They're wondering if they really want to go down to 12 to get a loot in. It's probably just like super safe. Alright. Any attacks? Nope. Okay. I guess I could go to kill the neonate. They get to use it to discard their card though, and then we can't damage the hollow one with our lava monster. I guess we can play out the other fetch land and have both fetch lands up to activate the lava monster. That makes sense. I can't do that. I died. Oh, I could just kill my Eidolon at some point. Is that unreasonable? I kill my Eidolon with my lava monster at some point. So that I can actually cast stuff. And then I untap and have the lava monster up again. You don't think I need to do it yet? I don't see it getting better for me though if I let my opponent draw a bunch more cards. I think I'm gonna do this. I think I'm just gonna kill my Eidolon now. Until I have additional resources. I.e. burn spells, etc. Like, it's kind of reasonable. I kind of just want to kill this, cast the other Rabble Master though. I think I just don't want to give them more time. They have a bunch of expensive cards they can run out. Eventually their board's just going to be like overwhelming. I think I just want to do this. I could see this being wrong, but I think it's fine. Like, I get to untap and play another Rabble Master, and then swing with my big Rabble Master, which they either have to get rid of their neonate, or it's gonna let me Grim Lava Monster down one of their big things. Or they could just have a Fatal Push as their only card in hand. Yeah. That's really bad for me. Right, with the Grim Lava Monster gone, I don't know how I win anymore. Because I can't set up bad blocks for them anymore. I guess I can cast both of these and attack with everything, but then they just kill me on the backswing. I guess I do this and cast the Eidolon. I can't afford to let my Rabble Master attack here. Oh, I did it pre-combat. I'm just not winning this game anyway. They just they have 2 lethal threats in play. I'm just going to have to chump block every turn for the rest of the game with them on 14. If I had the Lava Monster in play, I think I'd have a decent shot, because I can make blocks on my Rabble Master really awkward for them. But I think it's just impossible for me to beat that board from that position, with their life total being so high. Because, I have to deal with their board, but also don't want to, also need to be progressing my game plan somehow. I just have a bunch of creatures that are forced to attack because of the Rabble Masters. That was weird. Yeah, I agree, Phil. I remembered the Rabble Masters with each other. I did not think about the Rabble Master with Goblin Guide. That passed me by. Kind of a sad start to the league, but hopefully we face a deck that isn't quite as explosive, or that is explosive but in a way that we can race. The problem we've been having against Dredge and that Vengevine deck was they both gum up the board really well, which makes all these creatures really unexciting. So the fact we're playing a really creature-heavy red deck is just punishing us against those decks. Whereas I think there are a lot of decks where this could actually be reasonable plan. Goblin Guide is a goblin? Who knew? I know, Alessia. Who knew? I'm gonna put that on the bottom quite happily. Well, didn't come here to not suspend Riftbolt. Let's be honest, I want to play against Titan Shift. I would agree with that statement, Phil. Playing against Titan Shift sounds kinda dreamy. Ooh, a Thoughtseize strategy. Bye bye Eidolon. Maybe it's meant to be a guide for goblins, but it's a human scout or some nonsense. That's amazing. It's not a goblin that's a guide, it is a guide who leads the goblins. Domu. Ooh, I can flashback that Thoughtseize next turn. I kinda just want to get my 2-1 in play. Start dealing damage. But I guess it's just gonna trade with a removal spell anyway, right? Against their deck. So I'm just gonna pass the turn here for that reason. Could get punished. They could have another discard spell and take the Daredevil. But I think if we cast this, it probably just trades with a removal spell. And getting a Thoughtseize out of the deal sounds kind of nice. Right, so I would like to cast your Thoughtseize. This is also kind of nice, getting the Thoughtseize out their yard, because they're likely a Bedlam Reveler deck, right? So also just making their Bedlam Revelers a lot harder to cast. Cool, yeah. Like expected, just traded with a Fatal Push anyway, so casting it last turn wouldn't have achieved much. Yeah, this is a hand of Magic the Gathering cards. Don't have to worry about that Bedlam Reveler at least. They had like no spells in their yard. Hey, Steven. Tempted to take the Young Pyromancer. I think that's probably their best card. I guess we can Burst Lightning the Young Pyromancer though. Taking the Lingering Souls feels so weird though. I'm just going to take the Young Pyromancer. We can Burst Lightning another one if they draw it. I don't think taking the Lingering Souls actually achieves very much is the problem. You're not sure if we win this without a Ferocity? That sounds like a reasonable assumption. I just feel like with a Reveler in their hand, it's going to be really awkward for them, like, getting to a point where they can even attack with the Hazoret. Right. Churning out Goblin tokens sounds kind of gas. Rabble rabble, I know, right? Okay. I mean, we're up a Goblin in this exchange. Apparently they are going to get to Bedlam Reveler this game. They found Faithless Looting. Means they now have 4 spells in the yard. Rabble Master's unlimited Lingering Souls. That's a somewhat generous interpretation, but I'm okay with it. They discarded everything but the Hazoret. Okay. Apparently we're going to die to Hazoret this game. That's exciting. Let's attack with our Gobbo. Did I add Outpost Siege to the sideboard for Steven? Oh my word. I did not in fact do that, Phil. No Outpost Sieges, no Blasting Cannons. We are not splashing black for Midnight Oil. Yeah, Froston plus Eidolon is a bit painful, you're not wrong. So this puts them to 9. Honestly, I might chump with the Eidolon, just to like gain 5 life. So they go to 9 here. I just hate value. I wouldn't say that, but I think I'm just gonna cast the Eidolon and then likely chump this. Burst them down to 7. If they Lingering Souls, they go down to 5. And then, like, the Searing Blaze becomes really threatening. Yeah, we take 1. That's fine. Like, if I don't chump this, I die to 2 activations. So, I think this is a thing that just has to be done. Then we try and set up for top decking into a kill next turn. Right, they're going to loot. They're likely going to flashback souls. Yeah, it's a bit odd, for sure, Alesha. I think the idea is that you want, like, burn spells that can go to face or to creatures. Is the incentive for a lot of it, and obviously you have to be mono red, but it does end up looking strange. Do they have a lightning bolt? they have a lightning bolt, I'm going to be really upset. It must be what they have, otherwise they'd flash back the souls, right? Otherwise they'd flash back the souls. Right. So we can attack them to 4. And then we only have 3 damage in hand. And we die to Hazoret activation. They almost certainly have removal in hand for the Ferocidon is the problem. I guess they don't necessarily have a bolt, they just didn't want to flashback Lingering Souls because they take damage off this, right? Makes sense. Yes, we're chumping. Kind of the worst. Chumping and hoping to rip a bolt. Yeah, exactly, Scouty. It actually makes a lot of sense that they didn't attack, that they didn't flashback souls. Also, like, the Marsh Flats costs them a life too, so it ends up dealing themselves free damage. If these were lava spikes, our opponent would be dead this game. Of note. Like, if these were lava spikes, our opponent would be super dead. We'd have had like the extra 2 damage. Now they get to flashback souls because our Ferocidon is gone. Trying to figure out what our outs are here. Like, I can burst lightning them, searing blaze them, but then they're draining me. Okay. Now they're on 9. Even when they're on 7, don't know that we actually had outs. Yeah, we just don't have any cards we're drawing to, because they're on 9 now. Okay. Kind of annoying. If we'd had lava spikes instead of burst lightnings, we would have got there. These relics seem fine. It shuts down their Reveler plan. Do we want anything else? I could honestly see the Molten Rains not being terrible. What cards are bad? I think Courier's fine on the play. On the draw, I can see wanting to cut them against the Lingering Souls deck, but I think on the play we can cut the Burst Lightnings for these relics. And we can cut a couple things for Molten Rains, maybe. I'm a bit unsure about this one. Maybe we just don't do this one. They're like, their deck's so lean that I think they don't care about Molten Rain very much. Why is there no anger or whatever in the sideboard? I didn't see any angers in the lists I'd seen going around. I'm not sure I'd actually play that though. I don't know. Is Searing Blood strictly better than Searing Blaze here? Because they have a bunch of like everything we're killing is X1s, right? It's a bit worse because they can kill their creature in response. But they have so many targets for removal in our deck, I think I'm fine with that. Yeah, guess we just run this. And then on the draw, we'll cut the Bomats for something different. This is a 1-lander, but we've got the turn 1 Courier. I think I keep this. We have to draw like 2 lands for our free drops. But they have a bunch of discard spells, so it's not like mulliganing is going to help us a lot. And we have a bit of time to draw into lands for these. Like, these will still be good on turn 4 or 5. So yes, I'm keeping. Bring in Outpost Siege. Would that I could. Steven. Sneep. I don't think I'd go as far as Sneep. But I think the hand's fine. Sneep is enthusiastic. An enthusiastic description of this hand. Ooh, no bolt, no push. And we rip the second land. Just like destined, you know? Destined. This is 100% dying to a brutality. A bit of me wants to hold up Searing Blood for a Pyromancer, but there's no world in which we aren't getting brutality next turn. So I'm just gonna suspend my Rift Bolt and prepare to lightning bolt them. Oh, Inquisition? Sure. I think I'm gonna bolt them in response, because then I just have like the 1 free drop. Yeah, this is an aggressive lightning bolt, but I think that's fine. Sure, they really don't want me cracking my courier. Oh my god. They just do not want us cracking our courier in response to this Inquisition. I respect it. Right, land off the top. Land off the top, please. I just want to slam a free drop. Get a clock on board. Put you to 11. Nope. Nope. This is fine though. They're on a virtual 5 off the Searing Blood and Rift Bolt. Froston does seem delightful against their deck, you are not wrong. Shutting down, well, making all their token generation hurt a lot more. Seems pretty excellent. Excuse me. Alright. So untap, bolt their face. Taste it. Hey. I'm kind of worried this is just going to eat a removal spell. But like, at the same time they have all this discard and stuff in their deck. That's, I think I'm just meant to play this out and hope that it gets the removal out of the way for our next threat. It is, Charlotte, I agree. No Fatal Push. That's surprising. Oh, they have a Terminate. Cool. They just wanted to get their land in tapped so they don't take damage. Hey, friend. I'm feeling that way too, Phil. Like, this deck has just definitely had a bunch of problems with it. I would not argue with that. Collective Brutality. Yeah. Yeah. That's a problem. I guess we're meant to activate our courier in response. Since we're going to lose it anyway, and we're going to lose the Searing Blood anyway, and maybe we hit a land or a creature off the courier. That makes sense. Pure mess. Oh my god. This deck does feel like a bit of a mess. Kind of surprised that someone actually managed to 6-1 with it in one of the challenges. Kind of surprised. I guess we're just going to cycle our courier here, since the Lingering Soul's going to stop it getting in any serious hits anyway. Okay, Rabble Master's decent. Whoa, I only just noticed they have a Rabble Master in their yard. That's fairly unusual for that deck. I guess it helps them against like combo decks though. Just speeds up their clock. Nothing surprises you in Modern. That is fair. The bold engineered explosives on 0 in the tokens deck. Yep. Just gonna die to these things. Cool. That was kind of sad. I'm gonna play another match with this deck because I haven't quite got it out of my system, but I almost have. Like, I don't know. There's just a bunch of awkward things about this deck. So like, part of the power of Burn is that you reach this point in the game where like you're always like drawing super live, right? Whereas this deck, like, if the board ever gets gummed up with a bunch of creatures and you're drawing live to burn spells somehow, then like you've got half as many that you're drawing towards. And because it's Modern, the board gets gummed up so quickly in the matchups where that's a thing. Frostodon has just felt like really underwhelming as well. Rabble Masters felt pretty good. Like, I really liked this card, but Frostodon just feels wholly mismatched against what's happening. I liked the sound of it too, Red Baron. It's kind of sweet, but it's not playing out amazingly so far. Gonna see if we can salvage a match or two though. Right, we're gonna go first. I mean, I guess this is a keep. Gonna take lots of damage off the ruins, but yeah, exactly, Phil, I agree. Like, the deck tries to be versatile by having things that can go to the face or creatures. In that so that it can play to the board more, but in exchange it just has a lot less raw power. Like when you compare something like Burst Lightning to something like Borostrom, there's just such a world of difference, even in terms of damage output. And that's ignoring the fact that, like, Burn also gets a lot of utility out of something like Borostrom, giving, like, they use the indestructible mode a surprising amount, right? Yeah, I've not had that come up yet, Red Baron. There are, like, a few awkward dyssynergies in the deck, but that one hasn't really mattered, since they're both free drops. Like, if you end up playing a Frostodon and then drawing a Rabble Master and casting a Rabble Master, like, that means you have a fairly impressive board presence. So you probably don't mind so much about the slight extra life loss there. Incinerate versus Lightning Helix is the one that kills you, yeah. That's a problem, for sure. like strictly worst lightning bolt or lightning bolt plus healing salve. Right, they're shocking themselves. Bogles, okay. This is scary. Keep swinging with our guide. So they get to start loading up their Bogle. Or their Glade Cover Scout, I guess. They're all Bogles in my heart though. Uh-huh. Okay, that is a big flyer you have over there. Right. Awkward. Yeah, the third land for the Ferocidon to turn off lifelink could be really relevant for sure. I guess I'm just incinerating them this turn. Okay, that is a Bogle. So they hit us for 4. That's not too scary though. Do I want to incinerate them or the Arbor? I guess I just incinerate them, right? It lets them trade for the Courier with the Arbor. Yeah, I can't quite do that at the moment because their main critter has flying, but there's definitely a useful thing to remember for sure. Like fade a turn of lifelink that way. Yeah, I'm just going to shoot their face here. Since the Bogle gets to block the Courier anyway. And then I'm just going to swing out with the team. They're probably going to block a Lava Monster and a Courier and take 3. Yeah, Griffspoon's a weird one. They normally only have like 1 or 2 copies of it. You know you are losing with Bogles when you actually pay the 4 mana to return the Griffspoon. Yeah, Og the Killer, I've been wanting to try this out. It has not been performing optimally, but it's kind of nice to get it out of my system, at least. I have a weird love of Bomat Courier. This is not my first time playing Bomat Courier in Modern. Yeah, it is. For sure. Honestly, when I was looking at the deck, I was kind of wondering if you could put Hazarets in the board for, like, the grindy matchups. Like, Jund and stuff. We should just make, like, even more standard cards. Oh wow, we get another land. I'm very in for another land. Okay. You've wanted to know what it's like to have a broken limb. I've been advised it's not good. That's the motto you're taking away from this. Oh my god. Yeah, the ruins have been, like, really bad. Even the grindy matchup we played against, you just didn't get enough lands to activate it, like, remotely consistently. And we've had a bunch of times where having to pay a life for our land, like 2 or 3 times in a game, with how colour intensive our cards are, ends up really hurting us. So, like, the ruins have just been super awkward for that reason. Which is kind of weird. When the deck was on camera over the weekend, the ruins looked like kind of decent, but I imagine they cause more problem than it's worth. I don't know we have any cards for this matchup. But, like, the Searing Blazes are also kind of bad. I guess these at least kill Dryad Arbors and Cores. I'm just gonna run it back. Could bring in Molten Rains, but whatever. We just don't have Destructive Revelries on our board. I mean, if this was Burn, I probably wouldn't keep this hand. But with this being this deck, where we just need to, like, curve out and play to the board, our plan is pretend Hexproof doesn't exist. It's just the perfect approach, Steven. You'd swap the Searing Blazes for Outpost Sieges. I would love to do that. You did say we don't get to 4 mana consistently though, Phil. So, I don't know. Our plan is to play a bunch of 2/2s and hope that our opponent draws no more spells. I said draws no more spells. Come on, opponent. Don't be like that. Like, getting the Umber off doesn't really achieve anything. Hey. Hey, friend. Ferocidon, come on. We believe in you, little dinosaur. Now they don't gain life with their Spirit Link anymore. This is ridiculous. The Ferocidon casually owning the lifelink. Oh, that makes me so happy. That makes me so unreasonably happy. This league was worth it for that moment. Oh my god. The opponent must be livid. Oh my word. This league of failure and misery has been worth it for that one glorious moment. Like, Ferocidon just MVP, cannot be beaten. Sam doesn't have a Ferocidon, so I'm not sure it can win the game like the last one, but we'll try. Who the hell plays Ferocidon just for me and Soul Sisters? Isn't that the truth? Yeah, what am I cutting it for though? Like Molten Rain? It at least hits, these Searing Blaze hits, like, Core Spirit Dancer and Dryad Arbor. It's not exactly dreamy, but I feel like if Dragon's Claw to gain life, I feel like that's worse than occasionally hitting Spirit Dancer and Dryad Arbor. Like, obviously neither is great. We're not happy about either outcome there, but I feel like it's a bit worse. Right, let's run out our courier. Suspend a Riftbolt. I will grant you that Dragon's Claw would look slightly better this game. I will grant you that much. Alright, so we get to bot their face. And stare at their gigantic blocker. If we draw a Ferocidon, we probably win this game, right? If we don't draw a Ferocidon, we probably don't. I guess even if we don't draw a Ferocidon, like we're slowly gathering burn spells in hand. But don't make... Oh my god. You're right, Steven. Don't I make for Rabblemaster pre-combat though? They take 1 in the exchange and lose their Slippery Bogle. And then we just like churn out a Goblin token every... I'm making this Rabblemaster, screw it. Have I thought about a Ketra for this deck? We'd need to rework the mana base, but it sounds worth it, Phil. Sounds worth it. Like, they'd have their 4/2 first striker, but we'd have a 3/6 double striker and indestructible as well. They just never win. Also sideboard Aura Barbs for the Bogles meta. Right, how traitorous is this Goblin Guide? No! Wait, that dies to Searing Blaze. I guess, like, we're giving them a free card, which is sad, but the free card is going to deal 3 damage to them, which is kind of dreamy, so I think it's a good exchange overall. Right, opponent goes to 10. Another Slippery Bogle. Sure. Ferocidon. That's delightful. I think this turn I'm just gonna kill the Dryad Arbor. Do I lose? Can I actually possibly lose if I cast the Ferocidon though? I probably can't, right? I do it post-combat so that I don't take 1 from a Goblin token. Go for the Rage Quit. That's what I'm dreaming of. No! 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 I guess this is the problem of this line. They get to trade off their Dryad Arbor with a token. And turn off our Searing Blaze. Make us feel really dumb. Opponent is smart. Mono punished. We return... Now that our win condition is gone, we return to playing Magic. This now deals 4. We have 6 damage between the Rabblemaster and the Burst Lightning. It's kind of dreamy. We have assembled a Boros Charm. We've proven that you do not need white mana to Boros Charm your opponent. We have Ruins and Burst Lightning. Surely they cannot gain life. I would be surprised if their white-green deck had any life gain in it, right? That would be really unusual for a white-green deck to have life gain. Right? Ooh. This also Stone Rains them. So now if they cast any spell, they die unless they draw more lands. So they're currently dead on board next turn. Attack with all. What? What are you talking about, Stephen? How are they dead on board? What am I missing? We had 2 creatures. They just block both, right? Right now they can't have any spells. We attack with our 3 creatures. They die. Oh my god, we won a match. We somehow beat Bogles. I kind of want to end this league on a good note and move on to a good deck, but I'm also really excited now and want to play the final match. Oh my god, it'll be quick. I want to play the final match now. I'm excited. I'm back to believing. Yeah, for sure. Both they could draw non-Horizon Canopy lands at some point, Stephen, but they were reasonably dead there, no matter how we played those cards. Alright. Thank you, Her Union. Oh my gosh. Final match. This hand's reasonable. We'll happily keep this. After we finish this league, I'm planning on playing some Mardu Pyromancer. I want to try out the list that Caleb top 16'd the SCG event with. I think it looks really sweet, so I've always enjoyed playing Mardu Pyromancer. Oh my god, it sure does, Jedi. No, they Stone Rained us. Opponent just like Stone Rained our only mountain. So rude. Actual rudest. Yeah. I don't think I could bring myself to play that, Charlotte. Like, the big difference there is that Jeff gets paid to play those decks, so can justify it. Merfolk, I know, right? Kind of excited to Searing Blaze some Merfolk. That is a Curse Catcher. Whoa. They just have so little in hand, jeez. Right, I'm just gonna go ahead and bolt them in there and stuff, I guess. It's possible we want to save this to like kill some lords, but they only have 1 card in hand. It's really unlikely they have that much to dump on the field. It's kind of annoying because I want to like Searing Blaze this turn, but I also want to get my Rabble Master going. And we're kind of looking to draw another land at some point anyway, right? Save the Searing Blaze for a Lord once we draw a land. Cool, they don't have a Lord to Violin to block, which is great for us. I'm excited to board in 4 Searing Bloods in this matchup. Just have like mono blaze effects. Okay, So if I attack with everything, the Rebel Master ends up trading for the Mutavault, which I think is fine. Merfolk is bad, humans. You are correct, Charlotte. To be fair, our deck is also a bad version of another deck, so, like, don't know that we're allowed to criticize. I think I'm pretty happy trading the Rebel Master off here, when I've got, like, a couple Ferocidons coming down in the future. Like, gets their Mutavault out of play, means they're less likely to, like, randomly swing this game back with a couple Lords off the top. Merfolk is soggy, humans. That is the hottest of takes. Our deck does have more memes. This is true. Please not a Silvergill Adapt. Please not a Silvergill Adapt. Okay, that one's annoying, but we all live. It doesn't cantrip, it doesn't make us feel awful about our life. It does leave us with a lot of free drops in hand. It does do that. Am I gonna Searing Blaze something here? Like, I might just Searing Blaze the Harbinger and then cast a Bomat Courier. We only get the 1 damage off the Blaze is the problem. Oh, I think I just want to play a big thing right. It's fine. Yeah, I play the Ferocidon. And then the Ferocidon gets to start swinging into their 2/2s next turn, and also blocks pretty well if they don't have a Lord. When did every deck, every card that's not in current week's tier 1 become LOL memes? I think that's mostly a side effect of Jeff Hoogland's branding. Alright, so we're going to swing with the Ferocidon, post-combat play another one. And there's a decent chance this trades off with a 2/2, but then that makes like our second Ferocidon really good. Could also just not block, which is great. They go to 9. Cast another Dino. This is like reasonably threatening. We did beat Bogles. We did. It was glorious. They pathed our win condition, but then we just drew a bunch of like Ramunap ruins and burnt them out. It was great. Slightly terrified of Master of Waves. Don't think we're ever beating a Master of Waves. Do I want to Searing Blaze this turn? I guess playing a land protects me from a Lord because I can then Searing Blaze it. And if they don't have a Lord or a Master of Waves, I'm in such a good position that I don't mind potentially losing access to this land for Blaze. Blaze also blows out double blocks, right? Yeah, it seems great. Let's just swing with our dinos. Actually, if they Master of Waves, they die, right? If they Master of Waves, they die to our dinosaurs. That's hilarious. because they take like 10 damage off our dinosaurs. Yep, Master Tool deals 12 right now, jeez. Oh, because of the Spreading Seas, I was missing that one, yeah. Right. Do I just pass priority here? Or do I Searing Blaze them? If I Searing Blaze them, they can Vial in a Lord. We still wipe out like most of their board though. And keep one of our dinos. I think Searing Blazing here is fine. And we can take down the Harbinger. Which means they're probably going to sack some Curse Catchers. Like, I kind of just want to cast this whilst it has landfall. Is also a motivator. Sick. Run out our courier. Right. Oh, they do have the Master of Waves. So because we got rid of some of their devotion, they get to run it into play. That makes sense. They're down to 3 though, they're dead to so many things right now. And the courier is keeping this bit under control. Because it's colourless. It's just like secretly amazing here. Right, I guess we cast the Rabble Master. Cast the Rabble Master and the Goblin Guide. I'm wondering what to do here. Like, the Ferostron's locked into dealing 1 to them. Because they can't move their current board, they need to cast another creature, so we don't want to trade this off in combat ever. And we're gonna, like, essentially put them to lethal with the Ruins, that means next turn. If we draw a land. I guess we just cast the Rabble Master. The Master of Waves just blocks the token, but then we get to cast the other Rabble Master next turn. We could also cast the Eidolon, which means they can never Vapor Snag the Ferocidon once we put them down to 1. I think I'm just gonna get out the Rabble Master though. I guess the Rabble Master's really awkward with the Ferocidon, right? Maybe didn't think that bit through. That is actually coming up now, what Red Baron mentioned. That we're just gonna start taking 1 every turn. I'm not gonna attack with the Courier yet, because it just trades with an Elemental. It's like a really easy block for them. Post-combat, yeah, you're right. We should post-combat the Rabble Master there, because they have a really clean block on the 1/1, and playing it pre-combat deals us a damage off the Ferocidon. You're correct, Phil. Hey, so this puts them to 1 off our Ramanap Ruins. Do we want to cast the other Rabble Master? It forces this to attack, which means this gets a clean block. But then we have a bunch of 1/1s and stuff getting in. I guess I activate the Ruins this turn. And then, like... Okay. Opponent was done with us messing around. They just like accepted they were already dead ages ago, no matter how badly we played that. Let's bring in some Searing Bloods. Don't think we want any of the rest of this. Obviously these hit Vials, but I don't think we care about Vials too much. Right. What is bad? So I'm not in love with the Rabble Masters. And the Daredevils also seem like they don't do very much. Let's take out the Daredevils and trim on Rabble Masters. I guess we could trim Eidolons on the draw, right? Instead of Rabble Masters. Maybe we just want to cut all the Eidolons. On the draw, the Eidolons are just going to deal more damage to us than them, especially with them having Ether Vial. I think the Eidolons are actually like... Eep. Ignore that. The Eidolons are fairly bad for us with us on the draw. Please ignore the number of cards currently in my deck. Did I only remove 3 of the Eidolons? Only remove 2. Okay. This hand seems rancid. This hand seems better. Steven sure has. He really has. I swear I normally play better than this, but... It could be that I'm not taking this deck entirely seriously at this point. It's plays like that take me to the next level. Yep. I just knew. I knew that 61 cards was clearly the perfect number, right? Never doubted for a second. Swing. If they trade here, that's fine. If they don't, that's fine. Sure. I will happily take your critter off the board. Autumn with the Soul Reed tilt. Alright, I'm just going to pass the turn with this Blaze up. Hope they play a Lord pre-combat. It's possible they're holding up a Spell Piercer. That would be annoying. Right, the fact they're just moving to combat means I'm probably just going to Blaze the Curse Catcher now. If they had a Lord, they'd have cast it already. I guess they get to counter this, don't they? Oh well. It's fine. It still just takes their creature off the board and then means we can cast a bunch of free drops. In my mind I was like, the sacrifice part does nothing because this targets their face as well as a separate target. But obviously it does more than just sacrifice. Ooh, a Searing Blood is great. This Rabble Master is also great. Let's get this party started. Go, my goblins. I believe in you. Silver kill. Okay. Okay. So yes, we just pass through combat and then post-combat play the Ferocidon. Obviously passing through combat so we don't take a damage off our Goblin token. Because I am learning. You cannot accuse me of not learning here. I'm learning how my cards work and it's great. Redree. That one doesn't give Island Walk. So it's not quite as scary as it could be. obviously gonna spend our turn firing a Searing Blaze at that nonsense next turn. How are we blocking here? We did learn, Steven, we did. It was great. I don't think we can just take 9, can we? It just leaves us dead to another Lord. Which, like, they're likely to have in hand. What happens if I just trade the Rabble Master with the Silvergill Adept and keep the Ferocidon? Then I put them to 12. Ideally I draw another land for this Ferocidon, but if I don't, I'm probably drawing a castable, which is good. I think I'm just going to trade off my Rabble Master here. I think the Ferocidon's a bit more important. I'm going to hold this Foothills in play for landfall. Okay. Let's get rid of this nonsense. And suspend this Rift Bolt. This game is actually feeling reasonably close at the moment. Obviously they could have multiple Lords in hand, and then it will very quickly be not close, but... What in the world do they have Manamo for? Choke. Manamo is anti-choke technology. It's also... Okay, the second mode isn't useful in this one. It's mainly for choke. There are sometimes they also run a Boro, which you can use to filter colourless mana into coloured mana, because you can use it to, you can tap your Mutavault, bounce it, replay it to make double blue. This also can kill some phantasmal images, which is kind of nice. Like if you phantasmal image a Thalia, then I guess that's not a thing that's ever happening. But if they were to phantasmal image a legendary permanent somehow, then it could be relevant. Yeah, I can fully imagine that being the case. Cambo, but still sees play anyway. Probably not winning this one. In that we're dead on board. Yeah, opponent's just going to attack with everything. Okay, now we get to be on the play though, which sounds excellent. We get to sideboard properly, which sounds excellent. So what I meant is you can use it to make people sack image, but there's no scenario where that actually comes up in that matchup, so, or comes up with that deck, because Merfolk doesn't have any legendary creatures, and the opponent's not going to be copying their own legendary creature with a phantasmal image and keeping the phantasmal copy, so there's not actually a situation where that ever comes up. I've certainly seen I think it's the white one, I've seen that used to kill a phantasmal creature. I guess I kind of want to lead in the Mutavault here, but I guess I'm just going to cast my Daredevil next turn, so it's not like I'm attacking with Mutavault anyway. Just you wait for the Brothers Yamazaki player. Or, isn't there a card that makes that, like, stops the legend rule? I don't think I've seen it in any janky modern decks yet, but I swear that is an actual card. Mirror Gallery. Has there been any like tier 4 Mirror Gallery decks? Has Jeff Hoogland played a... I guess the real question is has Jeff Hoogland played a Mirror Gallery deck on stream yet? Because if so, like, prepared for the Mirror Gallery world. You haven't seen it? Okay. You haven't seen it see play? That makes sense. I'm not surprised that it does not see play, but if we had another land we could activate this Mutavault, it would be great. Yes, we're just using our mana efficiently, incinerating this. The Brothers Yamazaki player might have a better win rate than Bomat Red. Cruel words that are not without basis. Mirror Gallery plus Leyline of Singularity. Oh, the tech. The tech is real. Now it lets you have 2 Jace the Mind Sculptor in play. Does the Planeswalker rule not apply anymore? Did they complete... I know that they now have a legend rule for Planeswalkers, but are Planeswalkers no longer... Is there no longer a Planeswalker uniqueness rule as well? Did they just get rid of that? I guess they must have, right? Yeah, they must have. Just legendary. So you can have 2 Jace the Mind Sculptors in play. I guess I'm just gonna Rift Bolt this, right? And attack with my first striker. That sounds kind of great. Yeah, that sounds kind of great. Just keep killing their lords. No interest in trading my Mutavault for theirs. We kind of need these lands. Mirror Gallery lets you have multiple Jace the Mind Sculptors and multiple the Chain Veils in play. Multiple Oath of Teferi. Oh my word. I mean... guess I keep bolting their nonsense and attacking with my 2-1. Yeah, still not going to activate the Mutavault. If I was to yeah, I can't bolt and activate the Mutavault, so I'll just swing with my Daredevil. Pretty soon we can cash in this Bomat for the first time this league. If Modern ever becomes a turn 8 format, Mirror Gallery plus Oath of Teferi might actually be good. A bold claim. Ooh, they have a Lord of Atlantis. Rude. Lantern's like the turn 30 deck, not the turn 8 deck. Oh, do they have the... They have the Flash 2-2, right? They have the Flash 2-2. I think I'm just gonna bolt their face here. And then cast my Ferocidon. Just like empty my hand for this Bomat. We'll cast my Rebel Master. Or they're planning to activate both Mutavaults to block the Daredevil. Maybe I wasn't meant to do that. I guess that could also make sense. I'm just gonna cast my Ferocidon. Just make it painful for them to play out any more critters. Make it so they die to the Searing Blaze pretty soon. I'm not gonna let them use their mana efficiently and block this Daredevil. Just gonna ship the turn back. You can't bring to light for Oath of Teferi though. Bring to light sadly cannot find enchantments. I say having wanted to bring to light for Demonic Pact too many times in my life. Cast another dinosaur. Pass the turn back. I think my opponent's under a hard lock now. These Ferocidons seem like a nightmare for them. I'm never ever casting this this Rebel Master. You're not sure you've seen a modern card with higher variance than a Rampaging Ferocidon. That is a reasonable assessment of Rampaging Ferocidon. I guess I can Blaze the Adept, right? I'm going to cast the Courier and Blaze the Adept, and next turn crack this Courier. Go for the kill. Sounds kind of great. Burning Incre... I don't know. Ferocidon has ranged from wildly unplayable to someone conceded on like 16 life when we cast it. So it's kind of hard to know. Alright. Let's get rid of this Silver Adept just to cash in this card. Wow. Deal. Also good. I guess we could just hold this up for a Lord, right? I feel like they scoop though, because they go to 1 against our 2 Ferocidons. Alright, we finished with an honourable 2-3. Now let's never speak about this deck again. Yeah, deck just had a bunch of awkward problems. Ferocidon was super powerful though in some matchups, for sure, Steven. Like anything where your opponent's playing to the board. Right, let's stop this recording and move on from this deck.